Hi everyone, my name is Charlie Kirkpatrick and the topic of this video is WordPress. As part of CYSE 200, you're required to put together what we call an e-portfolio. An e-portfolio is a website that you will create that is a showcase of the work that you'll do at ODU as you go through the various classes associated with cybersecurity. In CYSE 200, well, this is the class where we start your ePortfolio. Now, you're building a website. There's lots and lots of ways to build a website. However, WordPress is a website development platform that is worldwide, hands down, the most popular tool for building websites. I want you to use WordPress to do your ePortfolio in CYSE 200. And the reason for that is I really believe that in every class, you want to take something away that you can put on a resume. And I think you're going to have quite a few things in CYSE 200 that you can put on a resume. But one of those is that you have created a WordPress site. A WordPress site that anybody in the world can go to, and you can use this to showcase your talents. So let's get started with WordPress here. First thing you want to do is you want to go to the WordPress site here at ODU. And you can see the URL here, and just hit enter, and it takes you to the WordPress homepage. Now, a lot of stuff on here. I'll scroll down just a little bit to the tutorials. All sorts of tutorials out here on how to do just about anything with WordPress. So if you're stumped, you hit a snag on something, the first stop should be these tutorials. I think you'll be hard-pressed to have a problem that isn't addressed somewhere in here. Now, to get started, let's scroll back up and let's log in. And when you log in, you'll be prompted to use your ODU login, which I will use mine here. And you log in, and you have to do the two-factor authentication. Log in here. We'll talk about this later in the semester as well. And let's get logged in here. And here you are at the main administration page for WordPress. And it's this site right here, this page right here is where you will create your initial WordPress site. And to do this, I want you to scroll down here to create new site, and I want you to put in your name here, Bob Smith, Bob_Smith. You can see some of the other students here have created their own sites here, but let's create a site here just for demo purposes here. I'm going to call this CK Demo 6. CK Demo 6. Now, very important. Under templates, there are literally thousands of templates that you can use to augment your WordPress site. We've created a template for you for the cybersecurity program here, and it is under Arts and Letters, and it is the Cyber Impact template. I want you to choose that template, okay? So just click on Cyber Impact template, and you can see a bunch of other ones here, and just click on Create New Site. Okay. WordPress is going to go out and do its thing. It's going to come back in just a second here, and you will have your initial site. So here's my site, CK Demo 6. Let's go view this site. Now, doesn't look like much here, but we can jazz it up rather easily. This template is a layout that we've spent quite a bit of time working on that has pages for each of the sites, or each of the classes rather, that you take here at ODU. So what we want to do here, this is your default page. I want you to click on CK Demo 6 here. If you just put your cursor up there, the drop down, and let's go to Dashboard. Now, there's a lot of stuff here, I realize that. But at its core, this is a fairly simple tool to work with. We're not going to go real deep in this video, but because we could spend an entire year or two just on WordPress. It's a very sophisticated tool, but it's also fairly easy to use. So let's go to customize our site. And let's go to site identity here. And I'm going to put my name here. Okay. And I'll just leave that there for now, but you can change that as well. Hit publish. And let's go back, X out of this. And let's go look at our site again here. This is the site. And there your name is here under on your WordPress site right now. And again, your URL here will be whatever you chose to label your site with. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard here. Now, in CYSE 200, you are required to post several of your write-ups, be it a formal write-up or a discussion board entry. You're required to post several of those here to your ePortfolio site, this WordPress site that you've just created. Now, there's lots of different ways to do posts in WordPress, but you're going to create blog entries in WordPress. Okay, at its core, WordPress is a very good blogging tool, and as I mentioned earlier, there's more bloggers, more websites created in this than any other product that's out there. Very simply, what I want you to do is, after you have created your write-up or your discussion board, I want you to copy and paste it into this facility here. Let me just show you how simple that is. So I'm going to go back here to I have an article that I have opened up here, and I'm going to simply copy this over to mine. And just imagine that this is your write-up here. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back over to my dashboard here. I'm going to paste it right here, and then I'm going to give it a title, Human Machine Interface. Okay, interface. And I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to save it. Okay, and now I'm going to highlight this. Let's go over to it. I'm going to step you through some little how-tos with the editor, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But here is my post that I've made. Now, you can use the editor, and you can come in here and you can do a lot of different things. And I'm not going to take the time to do this in this video, but you just have to experiment with some of this stuff. But here I have an entry, and I'm going to publish this entry. Publish. It's updating, and my page, my new blog should be out there now. Let's go over here. I just clicked on the W in the corner here, and let's visit the site again. And let's go over to blog. And here is my entry for Human Machine Interface. Click on read more, and there it is. Okay. The other thing that you're going to be required to do is under the home page, I want to see, or under here rather, I want to see a little bit about you. So you can click on edit here, and I'm going to take this information out because that's just default verbiage, and I'm going to say this is a bit about me. Okay, and I want to hear a little bit about you here. I want to see a little bit about you here. So I'm going to click update. Okay, page is updated. Let's go back here to view pages. Go back to my visit site, and here I've got my name, home. This is a bit about me. I'm going to edit this again, and I'm going to change home to about me. Okay, and update that again. Go back. Visit the site, and here we go. Now, so what you're required to do in this class is you're required to have an About Me page. I would love to see a picture there. You're required to have, I think it's 3 different blog entries, and we've just gone over how to do that. At its core, this is how you set up a WordPress site. This is how you edit that WordPress site, and this is how you create blog posts, which will be your write-ups or discussion board entries in your WordPress site. Now, as I said earlier, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. In fact, there's just no end to the things that you can do. I'm going to leave that up to you to experiment with this, and I'm always surprised by the creativity that some of the students have, and I'm going to look forward to seeing your WordPress sites, your ePortfolio sites in WordPress. But before you leave, there's one last thing that I want you to be aware of. That is making your website available for people like me to see. I'm going to step through a simple procedure for making that happen. If you don't do this, I'm left to log into your site, and you have to grant me privileges to log into it. I don't want to have to do that. It's very important for me to be able to click on the link that you submit to me for this assignment and be able to go to your website. And this is how you do it. Let's go back to the dashboard again here. And I want you to go down to Settings, Reading. Settings, Reading. And there's a bunch of things you could do in here, but what I want you to do is I want you to click on under Site Visibility, Allow Search Engines to Index this site. Okay? Save changes. And now, in doing this, you've eliminated that barrier that a search engine would have to go through to log in to actually search and index your site. You want web crawlers from Google and Microsoft Bing and perhaps other search engines to be able to find your site. This is what enables them, those search engines, to do that. Okay, so by clicking on this, then myself and anyone else, as long as they have your URL, will be able to go to your site. Okay, without this, they'll be prompted for a login, and nobody will be able to see your site. So that ends our introduction for how to create a WordPress site and make your initial post to that WordPress site. We'll talk about a lot more. We'll talk about this quite a bit more in class, but this should get you started in creating your site. Thank you very much.